In this video, I will give you a breakdown of what self-development, personal development, self-growth is all about and how you should really utilize it. You know, this personal growth thing is really a lifelong journey unless you achieve enlightenment. So in order for you to really grow personally and have that path and constant growth throughout your life, you also need to understand where are you on your own personal growth journey. You know, same advice that is targeted or suitable for higher levels of consciousness or personal growth do not resonate with someone who is in the lower levels. And the problem really is that a lot of the advice is given from the higher kind of perspective. And then the people who are in the lower levels try to do those, for example, trying to meditate for 2 hours a day or something. That doesn't work if you're in the lower level of a personal growth. You need different kind of advice. So the first thing is really to get out of the lowest level and then start the journey. And also the advice, the teachers or gurus or however you want to call them should change along the path. There are several concepts or theories on different levels of consciousness or personal growth. One that I use a lot is that I have learned from Dr. Michael Beckwith. And he says there are like 4 levels of consciousness, where the lowest level is to me, meaning that life just happens to me. When a person is on that level, they just basically respond to the environment, whatever life throws at them, and just react. So, and the kind of like feeling is, oh, why is this happening to me? And then the next level is by me. People then start to realize that, hold on, I have abilities to affect how my life evolves. So then things start to happen by me. I do a lot of things. I set goals and I achieve them and I work on them. A lot of times people on that stage are also stressed because they really are working so hard to get things done, to advance in life or whatever. Then the next level is through me. That means that then a person allows things to happen to themselves. I allow there's a difference between to me and through me. To me is more like a victim stage. And through me is like a flow state. Yes, I do still set goals, but I act more on inspiration, not out of necessity or something like that. Not because I have to do something, but I get inspired to do something. I let like positive energies flow through me and act accordingly. And then the highest level is as me, which pretty much, gets into the state of enlightenment. Then you really just let everything else go and you live on your purpose or through a power or energy of a higher power. Dr. David Hawkins has a scale of consciousness that he has put some different like vibrational levels, numbers on different levels, where the lowest level again really corresponds with Michael Beckwith's to me kind of thing. So in that stage, people are really just responding to the environment. The environment and other people in the environment more or less control, at least to the feelings of the person and how they react, therefore also the actions. Then, according to David Hawkins, as you rise to a neutral level, that is kind of like a tipping point, where you start to spend more time on positive emotional states. And from there on, you start to grow towards understanding more, and all the way up to forgiveness and love and peace, and then all the way also to enlightenment. Now, they kind of describe things a little bit differently, but they both are pretty much the same in that sense that the lowest level, people are really not in control in their lives. And according to Dr. David Hawkins, almost 80% of people are in that level, not really having control of their lives and just responding or reacting to whatever life throws at them. So the first thing to really understand, if you want to move ahead with your personal growth, is to understand that we all create our own realities in our minds. It is not the same as actual reality. It is our perception or interpretation of the reality in which we live in. I have, by the way, different separate videos on all these things, so go ahead and look them up. So get more details on these different levels of consciousness and so on. So I'm going to give you an overview here more. So the first thing really is to understand that we all create our own realities, because it is not the actual reality that we live in. It is our own interpretation, it's our perception of the reality of what we see. So to understand that you can take control of your life is the first step, and to understand that you can create different kind of reality for yourself. It is about changing the perceptions, changing your beliefs of what you think you are capable of, what you are about, what this world is about, what other people are about in this world. When you change, those are just beliefs. Those are your thoughts, perceptions, interpretations. When you start to change them, the whole outlook of life starts to change. So that is how you start to take control of your life. You don't just act on the impulses of other people or whatever the life throws at you. You start to take control on your thoughts, your perceptions, your emotional states, and therefore your own actions and behaviors. You start to set goals for yourself. And when you set well-formed goals, meaning that they are not in the form that I don't want this, because that doesn't tell your mind what you want. You start to think, okay, what if I don't want this? What do I want instead? And there are 4 things basically on well-formed goals, and you can find that on one of my blog posts or videos or whatever. So anyway, when you learn to set well-formed goals for yourself, you start to take control of yourself and your life. And when you also think, okay, what is important to me about this goal? And you become aware of your values, what is important to you in your life. And you set your goals also accordingly. You start to take control of your life. It's also very important to understand that your goals should evolve as you grow. So meaning that as you grow and grow to the higher levels of consciousness, your goals are probably not that detailed anymore. They become more general or more abstract. So one of the key things from growing from the lower levels to higher levels is to pay attention to your emotional states, because they tell very clearly what you are thinking of, what you are focused on those particular moments. Whenever you are in an negative emotional state, that means that your thoughts are focused on something that you don't want in your life. So when you change them, you ask them, okay, so I don't want this, what do I want instead? You change your emotional state to a positive one, and you start to act and behave accordingly. So with all those things, you start to notice that you really can take control of your life, your thoughts, your actions, your emotional states, and therefore your life. Your perspectives on life start to change. So as you ascend in your level of consciousness, your self-growth, you start to pay more attention to what inspires you. Not just setting like tangible goals for yourself, but really getting a feel of what inspires you. And then when you start to act more on those inspirations that are coming from inside of you, not from the outside, but from inside of you, you start to act and behave again differently. You start to pay attention to different things, new things. One of the biggest things in order for you to really rise higher in your levels of consciousness is to let go. Let go of those things. Let go of the past. Let go of those things that don't serve you anymore. Forgive yourself. Forgive other people. Let them go. Let go of all hatred, all guilt, all those things, those negative things. You don't need them. And they don't serve you. That is the key, really, to rise towards the through me level that Michael Beckwith says. There are different techniques for the higher levels, different advice, and one of the things that people start to do as they ascend to higher levels, they start to meditate more. There are different types of meditations. Trust me, I have tried, I don't know how many dozens or hundreds even, different kinds of meditations. And those types of meditations that you do, they should also evolve as you grow. The point is also to be more in the present moment. The past kind of fades away. You just let go of the past. And the future, you don't really worry about the future, because by concentrating on those good things, on the present moment, you know that you are creating a better future also for yourself. You're not just repeating the past and what all those past mistakes or regrets or whatever guilts, let them go, and you create a different kind of future for yourself. And here's the key thing. You need to learn to love yourself. When you really love yourself, you can also love other people, whatever other things you want to love in the environment. But you cannot give other people something that you don't have for yourself. So when you love yourself, you have also love to give to other people. Not many people reach this through me level, to be honest. It is very much possible, but very few people reach that. If you still want to raise higher in the levels of consciousness towards enlightenment, then you need to study different things. There are a lot of books, a lot of videos, written or created by enlightened people. And those are very, very interesting things to read or watch. So if you really want to advance more from that stage, then read those books, watch those videos, meditate even more, and do different kinds of meditations. You can also study non-duality, which is like a higher kind of state of this self-consciousness or self-growth. So to recap, what this personal development self-growth thing is really about. First, get out of that to me stage. Learn to take control of your life. And then, as you advance to this by me stage, so that you can control things that you do, you can control achieving your goals and so on, I recommend not staying too long there. Because if you are stuck in that stage, you will probably experience a lot of stress, even burnout. So then you need to learn to let go. You need to let go of the control. You first need to gain the control, and then you need to let go of the control. So in order for you to reach the through me level, that comes with meditations, yeah. Really letting go of the control and letting go of a lot of those things that don't serve you. It's also a lot to do with forgiveness. Just forgive yourself and everybody else. And then, to ascend even higher, study the enlightened people. By far, for the most of us, this self-growth is a gradual process. There are some rare cases when enlightenment happens really fast. But even with the enlightenment, it's always a fast, immediate thing that happens. But you can prepare yourself, and that preparation is a process, gradual process. So where you prepare yourself all the time to the higher levels. The point is to improve the experience of life as you live along this life that you have. Improve the experience of life, because that's what it is, until you reach the enlightenment, if you ever reach that. It is an experience based on your interpretations, your perceptions. So when you change those things and let go all those things that don't serve you, you start to gain new perspectives and you start to experience life in new ways. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have found it useful. I hope it has given you some new thoughts. And like I said, if you really want to get some more information, new ideas, new thoughts on these topics, then please subscribe to my email list or subscribe to my YouTube video channel, where I have a lot of videos, and also my email list. I will send you some blog posts and so on. So please do that if you really want to grow and develop yourself. Thank you so much, and be well.